Sadly, Spartacus will remain dead. So, hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today we're talking about Xbox Game Pass and Sony's new Spartacus that they are bound to reveal here shortly. So, if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. This is pretty good. I went on a couple lives today to kind of talk about this, but I needed to put a video out addressing this exact thing. Spartacus, PlayStation's new Game Pass alternative, is dead on arrival. Dead on arrival. There's no way for Spartacus to ever compete with Xbox Game Pass going forward. The fact that Xbox is purchasing Activision, yeah, dude, there's no way for Spartacus to ever compete on any level with Game Pass now. And this is not over. I am pretty sure Microsoft is going to continue making these types of purchases to continue to bolster support for Xbox Game Pass. And now that a company like Activision will be on Game Pass, that's going to lead a lot more of these bigger developers to be like, okay, maybe we will launch some of our games day and date on Game Pass as a subscription. I just do not think that Sony even knows what hit them when it comes to this purchase. I think there's probably a lot of fear going on over at PlayStation right now, like as into how do we continue to try to convince people that this is a premium experience when it's not. It's not. I have no 4K native games on my PlayStation 5 from PlayStation first party developers. They are all in fact checkerboard rendered. That is not a premium experience to me. The controller is not a premium experience to me. The UI is not a premium experience to me, and so far the games have not been premium experiences to me when it comes to PlayStation 5. Xbox is the future of gaming. Whether you like it or not, this is the future. Xbox has developed and has created this ecosystem that is now going to be the driving force of Xbox going forward. Their main goal is not as much about exclusives as it is feeding the Game Pass monster, continuously making that a value to convince you to spend $15 a month on your Game Pass for a total of $170 a year on a subscription service that is going to give them residual income while providing you the best in class video game subscription service that you can get. That is the goal of Game Pass, and that is the business model going forward. I got asked if this is going to make Xbox cocky next generation. I do not believe that is going to be the case. This is not one of those things where they're selling consoles, where they're trying to push out consoles. This puts Xbox in a completely different class from PlayStation. A lot of PlayStation fanboys still seem to think that for some reason PlayStation and Xbox are competing. Man, I've been saying this for months now that that's not the case anymore. They are not competing with PlayStation. They would just as soon buy PlayStation and put it on Game Pass. That's where we're at with Xbox now. Xbox Game Pass is designed to compete with other services going forward. And right now, this is a building phase. They are in the building phase of building this out to be a sustainable future for Xbox games and Xbox gamers. So, if you are still one of those people that are delusional, that still don't think that Sony PlayStation games are going to launch day and date on the PC, you might as well just accept these simple facts as soon as possible that if PlayStation doesn't do something like day and date with their PC games, they are going to die this generation. They are not going to survive this like anybody thinks. Call of Duty sells better on PlayStation than anything right now. Call of Duty has just been bought by Xbox. What reason is there to buy a PlayStation over an Xbox now? Is there a reason to buy one? Like, seriously, ask yourself this. Is there a reason to buy a PlayStation over an Xbox if you only have the money to buy one? Does it really make sense to buy a platform that is potentially not going to have Call of Duty, or the console that is guaranteed to have Call of Duty for $15 a month for the cheapest price of entry to any video game ecosystem there is. This is a deciding point now. I'm glad that this happened early on in the generation, so now people can choose wisely. Do I go with PlayStation if I'm a Call of Duty fan, or do I go with Xbox? Is the door left open for Call of Duty games to be on PlayStation? Yeah, it is. But wouldn't it make more sense to play that game for $15 a month for a better value? That's kind of where that's kind of the argument. Even if that's the way you look at it, even if it's still coming to PlayStation, on PlayStation it will be $70. Well, maybe Microsoft will drop it down to 60 again, like they did before. But going forward, it's either going to be $70 on the PlayStation and on Game Pass day and date, or it's not going to be on PlayStation at all. And that's just that's just the thing that you're going to have to ask yourself before you make this purchase is, am I going to continue to go with PlayStation, or am I going to go with Xbox? Am I going to stay in the past, or am I going to move forward with the future? This is going to be the way that our games are going to be delivered to us going forward, and I just don't see PlayStation being able to compete with that, especially not putting their games on their day and date. They're not going to be able to do Spartacus day and date games. There's just no way that is a sustainable model for PlayStation, because their games are one and done. Nobody consistently plays those month after month. They buy them, they play them, they trade them in 7 days, they get their money back, and then they move on. PlayStation games are not designed for a subscription model. They're not. They are not designed for that. So without a multiplayer experience or some reason to keep players continuously playing those games, people are just going to sign up for Spartacus, play the game for $15 and then quit it. They're not going to consistently pay for that subscription. And especially if Sony games aren't coming out every month. Sony would have to literally put out a first-party game every single month for people to continue to pay that $15 a month. So at the end of the day, it's not going to happen, and I don't think Sony is going to be able to buy the amount of developers that it would need to feed a Spartacus game, to feed Spartacus. Spartacus is dead on arrival. There's no way for it to ever compete with Xbox ever again. Like, Spartacus is not going to be the answer. Will they be able to play their old games on it? Yeah, whatever. Like, you'll be able to play old PlayStation games or whatever. Will they be upgraded on PlayStation 5? Who knows? Like, that seriously has not been the case or the focus for PlayStation going forward with anything that they've been doing. So, I don't know. This is just another reason why I feel like PlayStation is this is going to be the worst generation for PlayStation in a very long time. They came out with a weaker console. They came out with an overpriced console again. They have seriously neglected building those digital PlayStation 5s. They've been putting far more focus on building the disc ones. So the ones that would have netted them the most profit, they have not made those because they did not bring in enough money up front. So going forward, that's just another mistake that PlayStation has made. And they wanted to raise the price on your game, so now you're paying $70, so that makes people less likely to buy a game day one. Or I mean, like, maybe they'll get used to it here soon, but yeah, dude, there's just so many mistakes that Sony is making this first of the generation, and then trying to position themselves as a premium experience when it did not take very long for me to see right through the premium. Right through it. Checkerboard rendering is not premium. Checkerboard rendering is cheap, fake 4K. It's like going to get a leather or like a leather jacket and it being pleather, or going to get fur and it's like not fur. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't it doesn't make any sense. Like, you if you want the premium leather, you would pay the premium price for the leather, but now they're asking you to pay the premium price for the fake leather in the PlayStation 5 with your Fuzz K, your 4K, and your checkerboard rendering. And like, so yeah, that was Sony's first mistake. You cannot sell a premium experience that isn't premium. Like, it's not 4K. It barely holds up as 4K. It's all fuzzy. You're not getting that with the Xbox. You're getting a native image. PlayStation would have been smarter to make these games with native resolution as opposed to doing fake checkerboard rendering, because Even Digital Foundry's starting to call out the checkerboard rendering. And it's only a matter of time before other people are like, hey man, we paid for 4K and we're getting Fuzz K. Because that was the biggest thing for me. That's what we have with the PlayStation 4 Pro. That was a PlayStation 4 Pro. Xbox One X did better than that. Xbox One X was delivering more of a 4K image. But now there's more fidelity in games. So now it's more expensive to do 4K. PlayStation came to the table with a weaker console and a higher price. So as soon as more people start seeing through this and start seeing what's really going on, Microsoft is going to continue to lead as they have been for a long time. I mean, they started leading with multiplayer and everything else. And yeah, Microsoft has truly been the leader. Sony has just been copying and following like they did with Nintendo and everything else. So sorry, PlayStation, but it is kind of your turn to fall backwards. And that's the way I'm looking at it. Microsoft is the future right now. You could tell, you could call me a fanboy all you want. Say I'm a Microsoft shill and fanboy or whatever. I don't really care. That does not matter to me. Microsoft is the future. Eventually, you are going to see that like I have seen that. Like I've been telling you for months, if you've been watching this channel, that this is the future of gaming. And this is going to start changing your experience on your PlayStation, whether you like it or not. And it is going to open doors for so many more people to play video games that PlayStation is, people are going to look at PlayStation and be like, wow, man, really? Am I getting what I'm paying for? And they're going to start buying Xbox Series S's. They're going to buy a Series X. And Microsoft is going to outsell PlayStation this generation because PlayStation is not going to be able to deliver on the promises. They've already cut themselves right down the middle with PlayStation VR2. This is Xbox One all over again with the Kinect. They have got all this focus on PSVR as well as their first party games. If anybody can make PlayStation VR2 work and make VR more successful, I do believe in PlayStation to be able to do that. But are people going to wait? Are they going to have the install base big enough to continue that investment in there? Or are people just going to be like, no, I don't know. That's all going to depend on pricing. If PSVR2 launches at like $299 or $199 with the Move controllers, with the new controllers, it would do fine. It would do really well. It doesn't have a processor in it. The processor's in your PlayStation 5. So I do not see any reason for it to be more than that. I seriously think if they come out with that thing over $199, it is going to die. It will be dead on arrival. $300, you can get that Oculus Quest. And you can play that right in your front yard. You can play that anywhere on the go. If it launches for more than that, it is dead on arrival. That's just the way it is. And PlayStation has deemed themselves a premium brand, so I really hope that they... I really hope for the sake of PlayStation they make these concessions, and they make these concessions soon and get back to being what people care about, a video game system. Nobody cares about a premium console. If they wanted a premium experience, they would build a PC. PlayStation, the only way PlayStation's moving forward is games day and date on PlayStation or PC. They're going to have to drop their price back to $60. They're going to have to start learning how to be competitive again. And PSVR is going to have to launch at $199 for it to be a success. So if you like this content and you thought this was cool, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and I will definitely see you in the next one.